Good morning, good morning. If you deny you know me on earth, will you deny you know me in heaven? I was doing a documentary and a movie about the illegal war on drugs and mass incarceration in the prison industry. Same thing Martin Luther King went to jail for, social justice issues. The illegal war on drugs affects housing, it affects income, it affects job prospects, it affects your credit. It does a lot of things in the social realm, in the social world. So like I said, I was making a movie and a documentary. Letters designed, to whom it may concern, Rob Fix. Alright? So the movie and the documentary is about the courts. It's about the judges, the lawyers, and the politicians in the illegal war on drugs. That's my lawyer. And I want my lawyer, John Bailey, Karen Levy, to be disbarred. I want Scott Shellenberger to be disbarred. You know, only locked up a whistleblower and a filmmaker. I'm an independent filmmaker. And I was making a movie about our government and our war on drugs. That's a movie release. Alright? That's a movie release. So in the 2019 sessions, I'm coming down here and everybody gonna get a movie release because the movie's about you. The movie's also gonna be evidence for a federal investigation into the courts and the criminality in the courts. I'm a whistleblower and I blew the whistle on the courts. I want to thank Leaders of a Beautiful Struggle because I'm going to use your book to build my new toilet. It goes, Jesus had a cross, Martin had a dream. It goes, Jesus had a cross, Martin had a dream, Malcolm got a gun, Shorty got a toilet, and we all got this shit to deal with. And I'm going to get Starbucks involved in this because like I said, this is a documentary and a movie about your courts. Y'all gave me the Verizon Award. Y'all gave me this award for my activism. Activism, activists. You feel me? So when I come to Annapolis, the papers that I gave y'all the last couple years about the grand jury, the papers that I gave you to access the court and the grand jury, my whistleblower's application, all these black faces, I'm going to see if you carry out this white agenda, white supremacy. Because y'all do whatever Hogan tell y'all to. So 2019, your report card is going to reflect it. Everything that I gave you, you're going to have to turn over to the Department of Justice. We talking about the war on drugs. You feel me? We talking about the war on drugs. You feel me? We talking about the police department. We talking about our legislative branches. See, I want the House and the Senate and the delegates, and I'm putting you on film. I'm making a movie about you. I came to Jill P. Carter's office when I started this. It's when I met Karen and Christopher Williams. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all what I was going to do a long time ago. It took me a long time to get here, but we going to handle this. Reconstruction, 1865. Because like I said, blacks have a right to run for office. Ex-felons can run for office, just like slavery. I'm trying to show you that we got rights and that we can be viable individuals in society. Leaders of a beautiful struggle. Yeah, this is the struggle that the leaders had 200 years ago. And we've been slaves for 200 years. You reinvented slavery and you used the 13th Amendment and you used the war on drugs to do it. So I was making a movie about it. Alright. It's the criminalization of poverty. Dutch Rufusberger got it. I'm going to show you the exact. I'm going to show you about Reconstruction. I'm going to show you the white faces carrying out Jim Crow justice, the good old boys. And we want everything in the light of day. Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division. Because I want a trial. I want a trial like Dred Scott. I want a trial to end all this. We're going to have the trial on the war on drugs. Because my case is about the war on drugs. Illegal incarceration. We're going to have a trial on the war on drugs. And we're going to do the Constitution to do it. Because like I said, I've been to these meetings. And they said that we can sue you. So I'm going to sue you in federal court. I'm going to sue you in state court. I'm going to spend my time suing you in 2019. We're going to spend all our time in court. The same way that you took me to court. We're going to take you to court. It's going to be the criminalization of poverty. When Karen gave this talk that day and did this down in Annapolis, I was in the room and I asked a question and Karen didn't want to answer the question at that time because all the politicians was in the room. So I said I'd ask the politicians after I left. But when I left, after the presentation, all the politicians left before I could ask the question. I'm going to put your names in your faces with this grand jury request. You're going to give me access to the grand jury under Senate Bill 374. And that grand jury request, we're going to bring all my evidence in front of a grand jury. We're going to bring my case in front of a grand jury. And if you don't give me the grand jury, we're going to take it to the Supreme Court. Because we're going to talk about the corruption in the FOP. We're going to talk about how how the police protect the corruption in Baltimore City. I'm going to break you down. And you can go to Judge Bennett's office and get this, because Judge Bennett got it. The Department of Justice already got this. Sitnor got this. Because like I said, y'all going to have to tell the truth. This ain't going to be like a DeSutter case where y'all just kill me and let me die. No, if I die, I'm going to make sure that everybody involved, everybody I take a picture with, everybody is involved. Kiefer Mitchell been having this for the longest. Kiefer Mitchell been blocking a federal investigation. And so has Kurt Anderson. Kurt Anderson this testified in front of the Judiciary Committee, and they still ain't did nothing. But these are black faces in the community that support Governor Hogan. These are black faces in the community that's selling out the black community. Your family should be ashamed of you for all the civil rights that they did, for all the fights that they did, for claiming to be, you know what I'm saying? Your family should be ashamed of you, because he went to jail for our rights. He went to jail for the things that we fight for. Social justice. I applied for Martin Luther King's job. All right, I applied for his job, and the media knew about it, and our elected officials knew about it. See the date? 2007. I blew the whistle on y'all. February. February the 2nd, 2011, my mother died. On the day that my mother died, I came to the States Attorney's office and I turned in the judges, the lawyers, and the politicians. I turned them in the name of Martin. Turned you in. I also turned you in Illinois. That's from 2008. That's the Attorney Disciplinary Committee, Althea Walsh. That's me in the Lake County Detention Center. Dated 3/20/2007. All right. Mr. Waller, Ken LaRue have filed false charges. All right. Obstruction of justice. All right. They had filed 128 different charges against me to lock me up, so I didn't have a bail. You held me without bail on false charges. All right. Case number. I've been arrested 2 times for a bomb threat. You feel me? This is about your courts and your judges and your lawyers. Impeachment of witnesses. All right. And this is the laws that you broke. Cause see, I'm a jailhouse lawyer. I know the law. These is the laws received. All right. Illinois law, Illinois statute, false records presented to the grand jury, barratry. All right. Grand jury hearings, documents signed for and failed to produce. This is the laws that y'all broke in Illinois and in Maryland. Governor Blagojevich, Patrick Fitzgerald, the Attorney General, Lisa Madigan. And you got the same thing here with the Department of Justice. Like I said, I'm blowing the whistle on your courts. I'm blowing the whistle on your illegal war on drugs. You feel me? And I asked for audit. Shorty's youth services, because I had a shorty program and the program was exposing it. That was the program. My program was just like Martin. So I asked, that's my ID number. You feel me? I want to audit. It's the criminalization of poverty. So Johnny Oleski, Karen York. This is the criminalization of poverty. That's my complaint. Y'all held me illegally. I won my case. I was found innocent on our charges, but while I was in there, I started reporting on about what was going on. That's the property sergeant. Y'all destroyed evidence. Y'all took my property. Like I said, I was asking for my property. Inmate complaint number. You feel me? Dr. Tobin, because I want to show you how you use your. I got everything here. A motion to proceed pro se. Yeah, I fired my lawyer and defended myself. And the things that was going on in Baltimore County Detention Center, Congressman Cummings was supposed to address it, and Congressman Cummings didn't do nothing. Mikulski didn't do nothing. Hardin didn't do nothing. Zirkin didn't do nothing. Shellenberger didn't do nothing, because that's your cash cow. You feel me? No public defender has responded. You feel me? No public defender, no phone calls. This is in May, dog. I was locked up in February. Y'all didn't talk to me with no public defender or nothing. Y'all had me locked up. Y'all transferred me from one facility to another without representation in the court. You broke the law in so many ways. And it ain't just me. This is common practice in your department. Because there's no oversight. There's no oversight in your Department of Corrections. Congressman Cummings ain't doing his job, and y'all can do anything that you want. When the state's attorney tell them to move, whatever the state's attorney tell them to do, they do. It's a corrupt system in the courts here in Baltimore County. So Johnny Oleski, you got to deal with it. I was illegally incarcerated just like Martin Luther King. Letters from a Birmingham jail. I gave you letters from a Birmingham jail, and I gave it to you in the 2018 sessions. Classification officer, request to specify files received. You feel me? I was doing my work. While I was inside blowing the whistle on the courts. Property sergeant. My property gone. My truck, my computer, the jailhouse diaries, everything gone. You feel me? Baltimore County Detention Center. No public defender. I don't want no misunderstandings about nothing I say or do. When I started this in 2007. All right. On December the 24th, 2007, y'all locked me up, but I sent this to y'all. All right. This is for the ACLU. 80 essential rules on delivering your message. I went to the ACLU and I did this. You feel me? I did this. And on the back, I did this. You feel me? Showed the role that the Baltimore Sun played in this. While I was locked up, I was keeping a diary and a documentary, and I showed the role that the media plays in this. 80 essential rules. You see the date. See that? FBI charges, all right? Because y'all keep charging me with a bomb threat. But y'all ain't taking me to federal court with my bomb threats. You kept me in the state because if you took me to federal court, that means the feds had to turn over that evidence. The federal court, the FBI would have had to turn over that evidence. That's why Richard McFeely didn't want to get involved. That's why Rod Rosenstein didn't want to get involved. That's why Patrick Fitzgerald didn't want to get involved. You seen the Department of Justice already had full knowledge of my situation, but you didn't want to get involved. Bomb threat. That's the first bomb threat that y'all gave in 2007, February of 2007. The man from Zion. It was about the war on drugs. Judge Rossetti held a green leafy substance in a viral white package. It was about cocaine and weed. It was about the war on drugs. I'm taking you to court, to federal court, about the war on drugs, the illegal war on drugs. The man that believed to be 47. That's how long I've been doing it. I'm 10 years, 13 years into this. My civil rights have been violated. Yeah, because y'all keep locking me up and charging me with terrorism. Because I want to expose the war on drugs. Name your judges, your lawyers, and your politicians that's doing this. Don't hate the player, cuz hate the game. You charged me with terrorism on 3 different occasions, so I get to go to the Supreme Court on 3 different occasions. 3 different occasions, I'm going to go to the Supreme Court. I'm going to get 3 bites at that apple. Just like Martin's letters from a Birmingham jail. I'm going to take you to court. Now, you either give me access to the grand jury in 2019, or we're going to take these cases to the Supreme Court. You're going to disbar Scott Shellenberger and bring a federal investigation into the Baltimore County Detention Center? or we going to the Supreme Court. All right, this is from the jail, so I kept a diary. I kept everything in it, boy. You know what I'm saying? I kept a diary. I kept everything documented. And like I said, we going to the Supreme Court on this case. Because right there, that's the case. I was found innocent of all charges. And right here, as a general matter, it is my opinion that in any case in which is reversed on appeal will be considered. It's not a conviction. My conviction was reversed and remanded. You never retried me. If you would have retried me, then you had to turn over my client list. If you retried me, then you had to put all that information in front of the courts about the war on drugs. We're going to go to court about this case. That's going to be my first bite at the apple. Because you used this case against me when you knew that I was innocent. And I gave this information to y'all. You feel me? I gave it to you. That's David Irwin. That's 2007. I was making a documentary about your courts. I was approaching the courts about this case. I had to go to Illinois to get this information, and y'all locked me up because I asked for this information. I gave y'all a book with it was my shorty book in 1986. I gave you that book. That book had all my client lists. It had my client list. That book had my client list. You weren't going to turn that book over, and you weren't going to take me to court and have a trial. The federal government. You didn't want to do that. It named police officers. It named lawyers. It named doctors. It named prominent individuals. It didn't name the brothers on the corner. It named prominent individuals. You feel me? That's 86. Like I said, jailhouse. Doing a war on drugs. You feel me? Attorney General Disciplinary Committee. That's from 1986. So I'm going to take the 86 case to the Disciplinary Committee and the 2008 case. And I'm going to show you that there's no difference in the policing. I'm going to show you the corruption in your courts. And ain't nothing that you can do about it. So when I come to Annapolis in 2019, give me access to the grand jury. Between now and then, I'm going to be rallying Kamenetz to disbar Shellenberger. Y'all going to bring Shellenberger on charges the same way that they brung Nafong up on charges. And then you're going to investigate the courts. Because I'm going to have this camera in your face. Ain't no law against making a movie. The movie's called Letters to Zion. Letters to Zion is an interact. It has been going on since 2006. Governor O'Malley approved it. You feel me? Governor O'Malley approved it. The Shorty program, the IRS. We got taxes. Like I said, I ain't got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Y'all making me famous for toilets. And like I said, I get up every morning and go to Starbucks. Starbucks going to be included in this. WJZ going to be included in this. Y'all going to have what? Y'all got New Year's coming up. Y'all got Christmas coming up. Y'all going to be out in the streets, and I'm going to be in the streets too. And wherever I see you, I'm getting ready to treat you. We're going to talk about the opioids and the war on drugs. No, we're going to talk about the war on drugs and the opioid pass versus crack incarceration. And I'm going to do it with the film. We're going to talk about the war on drugs because it's a social issue, a social justice. It's like Martin. I got my paperwork ready. Do what you do. You feel me? I want Shellenberger disbarred, Ken LaRue, Michael Waller, Karen Levy, John Bailey. Dog, I want your jobs. Just like Nafong. You can't charge me with a crime I didn't commit. Ain't no law against making a movie. Ain't no law against making a movie. And the movie's about our government and the illegal war on drugs. Hogan got it. So what you gonna do? You got me for 4 more years. I don't know if you can take it or not, but we're gonna talk about opioids and mass incarceration. We're gonna talk about opioids in the prison industry. We're gonna talk about opioids and the public defenders and the state's attorneys that incarcerate Black America.